Tell me what's going on with the GMC.
So, I just replaced the compressor, dispatching valves, dryer, and what I'm getting when I first cranked the vehicle up, let me back up. I noticed when I was charging it up, the compressor just keeps surging on and off. So if it sits overnight and I crank it up, it blows cold for X amount of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then the compressor starts its cutting on and off again. The clutch is on and off. I've got a wiring diagram, and I'm trying to troubleshoot right here in the fuse panel. So can you pull your wiring diagram up on your clutch relay
Yes, sir.
and walk through it with me?
Yes, sir.
So I'm getting fire on my ignition 2 fuse to my relay circuit. I'm getting fire from a clutch fuse to my relay circuit. But the wire that comes from the ECM, and I'm not sure if that's going to be a ground wire or a hot wire, I'm not getting nothing on it.
Being a ground from the computer over to the compressor clutch relay, is that correct?
That's right.
So the reason that's happening is because the computer is missing an input. That's why. So
now, why would it run like it's supposed to when the system is cold, I'm going to say?
why would it run when the system's cold? Is that what you asked?
Well, when the vehicle is cold, when I first crank it up, everything works perfect for about 10 minutes, and then I'm losing fire from that one wire from the ECM.
Yep, it's because it's a missing or an insufficient input. That's why. So it could work fine. The input could be just fine when the engine's cold, and then when it warms up, for whatever reason, the signal goes away, and then the computer decides to turn off the AC compressor.
I also replaced the pressure switch too. It's right there by your compressor.
So I'm showing here that the AC pressure sensor connector is a very common fault causing an issue on this vehicle. So that's a possibility. Or the wiring. So this is what it says here. Here's a case study. 2012 GMC Acadia. The compressor will not come on. PO532. It says access the 3-wire pressure sensor on the high side line. Verify 5 volts on the gray wire and a ground on the tan wire. Back probe the orange/black and expect approximately 0.1 volt per 10 psi. Example, 100 psi equals 1 volt. If the voltage is low, remove the orange-black wire from the connector or cut the wire and check for any voltage near the sensor. If no voltage is leaving the sensor, replace the sensor. I think we've already done that. If the voltage is okay at the sensor, in step number 3, when back probe and the code reappears, check for an open wire between the sensor and the ECM. This code will set if the signal voltage is less than 0.01 volts. Did you check for codes in the computer?
I did, but the only thing I was getting, I hadn't checked them today. Let me grab. Are you in a big rush?
Well, I would prefer not to sit on the phone all afternoon.
No.
I got a couple minutes.
Let me grab my computer real quick. Let me hook back up to it, see what
Sure.
code is actually showing on the HVAC side.
How much Freon do you have in the system?
It called for 36 ounces, and that's what I put in it.
Okay.
So when I cranked it up this morning to pull it back in my shop, it blew cold for a few minutes.
Yep.
These dang wiring problems can be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got my pressure switch unplugged right this moment. That's what I was doing when me and you was talking, so
Okay.
it made that code up.
Yeah, you might have to clear the code and then restart it and see if any codes come back.
Let me plug everything back up. I got the compressor unplugged because I was checking continuity on the compressor wire, thinking it might have been bad. Give me just a couple minutes. All right, I got compressor plugged back up in the switch.
I'm showing ambient air temperature sensor, AC pressure sensor, inside air temperature sensor. I'm sure the computer is looking at all of these.
Right.
Evaporator temperature sensor, that's another one that's got to be considered. And does the AC light blink at all or flash when you press it when this happens, or no?
Hold on just a second. All right. I'm showing a temp control 3 feedback, temp control 1 feedback circuit, and airflow control 9 feedback circuit. I'm going to clear these 2-3 codes and see if they pop back up.
I actually found a case study here. This is interesting. 2012 GMC Acadia. The air conditioning compressor will cycle on and off. The air is warm out of the vents. No engine control module DTCs. Heating, ventilation, and air control module DTC B3782. AC request is changing on the ECM data PID. It says, these are the steps. Verify the HVAC data list indicates air conditioning switch is turned on. Verify the AC permission is cycling on and off. Check the evaporator air temperature sensor on the scanner. If the value is not valid, verify good ground and 5-volt reference to the sensor. If okay, replace the evaporator air sensor. So actually showing this is pretty common in this vehicle.
Okay, I cleared everything, and the thing that popped back up was a B0433, which is a temperature control 3 feedback circuit. Well, now the other two popped back up.
What was the first code? B what?
B0433.
I do not have much information on that code here.
B0413.
P0, is that B as in Bravo or P as in Paul?
B as in Bravo.
B0413?
Yes, sir.
Temperature door actuator. I don't believe this is going to affect the AC compressor.
I don't either, because that's going to be for the inside.
Correct.
And then the other one is a Bravo 3779.
It's also for mode actuator, mode door actuator. Locate the mode door actuator on the right side of the heating, ventilation, air conditioning module behind the glove box.
I mean, that's going to be airflow there.
Yeah, that's not going to be with the HVAC
All right,
compressor.
let me get data display. Now, which sensors were you saying I need to look at?
There was 3 of them. It was the ambient air temperature sensor, the evap temp sensor, and the pressure sensor. I think you replaced the pressure sensor, but I had indicated that we got to check the circuit and the connector, which was.
The evap temp sensor reading about 93.
And what does your pressure sensor read?
I gotta find it. It just shows low pressure switch open. All right, on my inputs, I'm showing AC switch inactive.
And is the switch on or not?
It is on.
So you're reading the in the ECM, right?
That's right.
And that the HVAC head unit is not showing that the AC is turned on, but it is on.
Right. I'm showing. I'm sitting here. My control panel, my AC light is on.
Mm-hmm.
But on my computer, I'm showing which is inactive. Right. Auto.
I assume the compressor is not coming on right now, correct?
That's right.
Okay. It says check what the control display says for exterior temperature. It must read 45 degrees Fahrenheit or higher for the system to operate. If not above specification, then disconnect the sensor and check for a 5-volt reference at the ground of your sensor. So what is your climate control display for exterior temperature?
I gotta find it again. Let me go back to my sensors. Now, one thing I'm looking at on the evap temp sensor, it says 93, and then evap temp sensor desired 183.
So there's a big discrepancy.
Right, it's a big difference right there.
Yeah, that could be an issue. Is that Fahrenheit?
Evap temp sensor filter 93, evap temp sensor raw 93. Everything's around 93 except the desired temp.
Yeah, I have one of those 3 inputs to the computer, which is causing this issue. So if the pressure sensor has been replaced, or we could look at the other ones. So you could back probe that pressure sensor that you replaced to see what the signal is. I think it might be a little difficult to get to the evaporator temperature sensor, but then there's the ambient air temperature sensor. What does that say again?
I'm not showing nothing for the ambient air temperature sensor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to my engine screen and see if I see anything about the ambient. All right, ambient air 91.
And that's about right where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's good. At least we can out one of the sensors. It appears to be okay. So I would still probably do a little more digging on that evap signal.
Where is that evap going to be located?
It's going to be. Let's take a look.
I take the dash out, are you?
It's possible.
All right.
Let me just.
Yeah, send me this back to check that pressure sensor
and
the information to check that other one, and I'll see what I can come up with.
It sounds good.
All righty. Well, I appreciate your time, sir.
All right. You bet. We'll talk with you soon, okay?
All right. Thanks, sir.
You will. Bye.